Mackey Motors in Lake City is the place to find new and certified used vehicles. With a knowledgeable sales staff and an amazing service department, you'll drive away satisfied. Together, let's drive at Mackey Motors in Lake City. MackeyMotors.com.
I've been joined here today with the IKM-Manning Boys at 4x800. They just ran a season best here today over at Denison/Schleswig, winning the event by about 40 seconds here today. We'll start with Abe Polzien, who led things off. Abe got off to a really strong start. The young man from Woodbine kind of caught you right there at the end of the first lap, but you got him before you even got about 60 meters into that second lap, and then were able to kind of pull away. How'd you feel out here today?
I felt good. I didn't quite get my first lap fast enough, but I closed pretty good. It's my first outdoor 800s here, so overall it was all right.
How did you get yourself ready? Because you've been running more sprints this year. You're a great 800 guy and distance guy, but to come out here and have to run the 800, how'd you get yourself ready for it?
Yeah, this week in practice we've been doing some 800 workouts, so that's been getting my body ready. And then today, some longer jogging warm-ups instead of just the sprint warm-ups.
So what did you want for that first lap pace, and how close were you to it?
Well, I was going for a minute for the first lap. I got a minute and 5 seconds, so it wasn't very close. So a lot of room for improvement.
So that meant you had a little bit left for that second lap. How'd you feel that second lap?
I definitely had a lot left. I probably could have kicked it in a little bit more, but first outdoor 800, it went pretty well.
How good does it feel to get this first one in and be a part of a season best for this group?
It feels really good to get that in.
Enjoy running the shorter stuff, or are you glad to be back and running maybe some longer stuff?
Yeah, I enjoy the short stuff, but the long stuff it's always fun.
Well, I tell you what, great job out here today. Appreciate you joining us. Let's move now to Ben Ramsey, who got the baton in the lead and kind of built on that lead. You got out strong. How'd you feel at that first lap and the tempo that you set?
I mean, I felt pretty good. I think I had about a 102, but coach wants us by the end of the year about 1 minute, so there's still room for improvement there. But beginning of the season, I think that's pretty good for my first lap. So yeah.
What did you do for your strategy? Did you just go out hard and then pace yourself, or what did you do for the strategy?
Yeah, coach tries to tell us to push that first lap, and then basically what you got left for that second lap. So yeah, I tried to get out first lap there pretty good, and then really the main thing for me is just focusing on that third 200 of the 800 race. So that part you're just kind of dead and don't have anything, and it's kind of pretty mental there. And then once you get to that last 200, then you just finish. But yeah, just focusing on that third 200.
How'd you feel like you finished?
I felt pretty good. Even though I didn't have anybody to race with, just trying to push myself to the end so I could get that time in. So yeah.
How tough is that to kind of be out on your own at that point?
Yeah, that's definitely tough. Basically, you against yourself, your own mind when you're out there by yourself. So definitely tougher, but just a good workout. So yeah.
I'll tell you what, great job out here today. Congratulations on the season best.
Yep, thank you.
You bet. Let's move over now to Wyatt Danner, who like Ben built a big lead as Abe did as well, and you got the baton, kind of had to run by yourself. What did you do mentally to kind of keep yourself focused on just doing what you needed to do?
Oh, well, Coach had our times and what he wanted us to do in first and second laps. So I was trying to pace myself to what I want to run at the end.
Kind of the new guy out of this group, a lot of these guys ran this stuff last year, so what's it been like kind of fitting in, because you seem to fit in really well with these guys?
Yeah, it's really fun running with these guys. They've had a lot of success in their high school career, so being able to run with these guys puts a lot of pressure on me, I think, and I love running with them.
How do you like running the 800 too? Have you kind of grown into this?
Yeah, I have. It's not a bad race. It's pretty fun, but it's definitely challenging.
Warmest day probably that you guys have had for an outdoor meet. How'd you feel out there in this heat?
I think the heat I think I like running in the heat a lot better than the cold. I don't think the heat bothered much.
Take me through that second lap and how you felt.
Oh, well, the first lap I know I was a little behind what I wanted, so I knew I had to push a little more. Yeah.
Did you feel strong closing that last 50 to 100 meters?
Yeah, definitely room for improvement, but I finished with what I could.
Where do you think you can get better yet?
I think that third 200 is the most important part. I need to stay strong there.
I tell you what, great job out here today. Congratulations on being a part of the season best.
Thank you.
You bet. Let's move over now to Isaac Blankman, who ran the anchor leg here today. You weren't pushed in this one. Those guys got you about a 100-meter lead to start with. So for you, I know you always get out really strong. You took off sprinting right away. When did you settle in?
Well, I knew I had a big lead, so I decided to settle in and kind of just float for a little while. So I got about 100 meters in, and then I started floating and just kept my pace.
So for you to float, you still want to run time and everything, so how were you able to kind of figure out, I can float, not kill myself, but still go fast enough to be able to run as well as you guys did?
Well, you've already built up momentum, so if you just keep your form, you can usually keep that pace pretty well. So.
Do you feel like you were able to keep it really well all the way through that first lap?
Yeah, well, my first lap was about 102. It's not bad, but we want to get it around one flat, sorry. And I was a little bit slow for that, but
what do you got to do to get it to that 1 minute flat, do you think?
I think my second 200 needs to be a little bit faster.
So how did you feel on that last 400, and then I'll let you go?
The third lap, the third 200 of the 800 is always the worst because your body starts shutting down and you don't want to do it anymore. So you just got to tell yourself, push through it, make it go fast so you get done quicker.
One last one. How good can this group be this year, do you think?
I think it's early in the season and we're already running a pretty good time, so you got a lot of room for improvement.
I tell you what, great job out here. Proud of you, man. And best of luck. Congratulations on being a part of the season best.
Thank you.